Hey everyone, welcome back to our podcast episode for Anime no Iesu, which is also known as Lessons from Your Favorite Anime Series. My name is Onyeka and I'm your host, just here to deliver some nuggets to help you out in your life, things you're learning from anime, and hopefully something that can help bring you to a better version of you. Now that's a lot of stuff to say, so basically I can see the first question you have in mind is, what the heck is Anime no Iesu? So long story short, Anime no Iesu is basically a brand and an idea to help showcase those lessons that are nestled within anime that Jesus is trying to teach you to help improve your life, change your perspective, and help again get you to a better version of you. For this episode, we're basically just talking and digging deeper into that whole I'm dealing with your daddy issues, which is episode 1. Please, you can check that out on our YouTube channel. We're going to drill down on one of the 4 tips that I gave on a way to help you with daddy issues. So what are daddy issues? Daddy issues are essentially issues you have with your father, which is obviously a simple way to say it, but to take it deeper, those daddy issues are, I would say, trauma in relation to your own connection with your father, your actual biological father, or possibly stepfather, could be the same case, where that relationship, which is supposed to be positive and help you to grow, mature as, a young boy or girl, it now gets toxic. Like, it gets corrupted, it gets insanely threatening to who you are or corrosive to who you're going to be, and the implications of that now negatively affect your life, your outlook, your relationships, the way you even view fatherhood. And those are not easy things to identify. Leaving those problems or daddy issues untouched are things that can really, really, really impact you in a very terrible way. Take it from your personal experience, that thing hurts. Like, it really hurts. It's not, you can, for the dudes, you can man up and say you're okay, you can gloss it over, but deep inside you know that you're hurting. You're just pretending. And pretending does not heal anything. It's just a fake version of you that you're showing to everybody. That I'm okay, I'm good, I don't have to talk about it. And you could even lash out with anger, but the anger too is also not healing, because the pain is getting deeper. Time is actually going and happening on that, and I really believe that nobody wants to be in that place of pain forever. It's just not healthy. So to kind of help really relate this a lot more, I was exploring the theme of daddy issues through the anime My Hero Academia. For those who don't know it, Todoroki, Deku, All Might, Endeavor, All for One, all of that stuff, great anime series. We like to narrow it down. It's the issues Todoroki had with his father way back early in the season. We know that obviously Endeavor gets better, which is great. I'm actually just focusing more on what happened before that, how bad things were between Todoroki and his dad. You see Todoroki, he's got all these skills, fire ability, and ice together in one, but you take a look and actually realize that he's hurting from something that no ice can cool off. He's actually been wounded by his father in a deep way because of actual trauma, physical trauma, and also the way his father has treated his mother. You'll see it in the episode, in the show if you get to check it out. And really you see that when Todoroki talks about his father, it is immensely toxic. Like, the man is, he just sounds so cold and brutal. Talks about his dad like he's an actual true monster or yokai. For those who don't know what yokai is, it obviously means demon in Japanese. That coldness, that's not normal. A normal relationship between father and son should not result in that. And you could tell that because of the way Todoroki's dad, Endeavor, had forced his dreams on Todoroki and the family, mistreated them, trampled on their feelings, and just said, you have to obey me because I am the overlord, essentially. That resentment, in addition to what he did with kicking out the mom from the house, that resentment in Todoroki, even when he was super young, stayed with him the whole entire way through. And he's like pissed, man. He is super pissed. And he has every right to be. because Endeavor was not actually a good dad to him. I mean, he had money and a safe place to stay, but it's bigger than that. It's actually the stuff people really need to grow. It's love, it's encouragement, it's actually understanding and support. And that's definitely not what he got from his dad. And it really, really, really stuck in him, honestly. Like, you hear the way he even says he will never use his dad's powers, even though that's part of who he is, because of the fact of how much he dislikes his dad and he wants to really stick it to his dad. This is essentially when he was fighting Midoriya, and he said, I can rock this fight solely with using ice. But guess what happens? Deku shocks him and proves that his ice powers are not enough. That they are like Deku himself using, what do you call it, one for all, literally fighting back on such a higher power level that Todoroki is actually pushed to the edge, where he's now realizing, like, oh snap, I can't just run this on my own. And then he gets confronted with his past, and because of those stuff Deku's saying to him to challenge him and be like, bro, why are you running away from this problem, this issue with your dad or whatever? You're letting it keep you from who you're supposed to truly become. Why run away from it? You need to actually face what's happening. And it hits Todoroki like not just a ton of bricks, like a whole mountain. After the way everything Midoriya is just saying to him, like the words. One thing I'll say is a big thing. Part of your healing from your issues with your father is words are a big part of it. And when Midoriya's words actually reach Todoroki's heart and break through the whole ice that had... Remember the whole ice box, Omarion, you know, ice box where my heart used to be? Though that was about a girl, but Todoroki's own ice box is not about romance. It's actually about his father, where he's now gotten cold to his father altogether. So Midoriya's words break through that ice box, and now we find out that Todoroki actually has fire within. He also wants to push his dreams and become something more than Endeavor's son. That is one of the most heartfelt and amazing episodes I can think of in Boku no Hero Academia. Check it out. I think the title of the episode is called Origin. The tip we're going to mention in this one is actually, all that stuff was just to help you better understand where we're going to go with the tip itself here. And the tip with actually dealing with your daddy issues or starting to heal from them is actually like, it's major. Are you still listening? Okay. The tip itself is to ask Jesus for help. Now, I hope it doesn't feel weird to you for me to say Jesus. I say this just because of being direct and real with you. I think there's no point in talking about solutions that don't actually work or help with where you're going and what you need in terms of healing. Some people have read books and done all this stuff, but it still hasn't helped them to confront the real issue happening. I say Jesus because the struggle with daddy issues is not just a physical thing. It actually has a spiritual component to it. Think about it. That's why the pain is so deep. If it was just a physical thing, you go to the doctor, slap a bandage on that wound, and boom, you're healed. This is not just a wound that's physical. It's an actual spiritual, maybe even possibly like a soul wound. And you seriously don't know how to reach your soul. Like, you think you do. But if you did, you would have already healed, rather than still being held prisoner or being manipulated by the pain. And those of you listening to me who are going through this, you know what I'm talking about. It's when you see your dad and you get so furious or so upset or so down, or all you just keep saying is the bad stuff, or even the fact that your emotions start seeming out of sync, like you can't control them or manage them well because there's something inside that's already interfering with how you normally should relate to people. Maybe you'll lash out at someone in a very angry way over something small, like who left the plates in the sink. I'm like, it's not, don't take it like the plates are just plates. You getting pissed off at someone and yelling at them about it might actually be revealing there's a problem with you, your heart, or something else going on. The place is a very simple example, but I say this to say that the emotions that you're feeling are real and they're really powerful. Taking care of how you use them is so important. Daddy issues are a problem. They are alive and well. They feed off your fear, your ignorance, your anger when it's not founded on the right principles, and they will cause you future pain. That's a guarantee. Pain doesn't just sit in isolation. It just continues to build and spiral. The reason I was mentioning Jesus again is to say that this pain is bigger than you. Like, it's actually bigger than you. You can't just psych yourself up and say I'm over it or whatever, because the pain actually does frighten people. It frightened me for sure. I'll definitely say that. Like, to actually address and face what's going on and say, hey, I think I need help. Jesus, I can't do this on my own, because I remember the past, the pain, the hurts. They're running interference in my mind to stop me from moving forward, but I need to move forward. I need to actually be able to heal so that I can become a better version of myself, not be caged by the past. I'm saying Jesus not to be religious, because Jesus isn't about religion. This is actually more about rescuing you, saving you from being destroyed by pain that you didn't cause. I think one of the scariest things is where sometimes we don't love ourselves to say, okay, I deserve to be free from this. Sometimes we glorify the pain that you felt or justifying the anger, but none of that stuff, I'll repeat that again, none of that stuff actually leads to you healing. It just keeps you in a place where you're like, yeah, my dad deserves this because he was bad. You might think that way, but it won't help you grow. Because if you keep blaming your dad and you put it on him, it's almost like you're saying that if he doesn't change, you won't change. And he might never change. So why imprison yourself based on a decision someone else made, when you actually have the ability to say, okay, you know what? Jesus, I need the help. Help me out with this thing, because this is bigger than me. Because I really need the help. I cannot do it. I'm drowning in this daddy issues, because those daddy issues they're big, honestly. Let's take it to the real world here. You can see people, celebrities, rappers, people where the daddy issues show up, and you could tell that, like, this is still bugging them till this day. Like, let's say, like, Michael Jackson, for instance. His own daddy issues is more the fact that his father never allowed him to live out his life as a child. He was always working, always doing the singing and all this stuff, and when he finally was an adult, he tried to live as a child, and then everyone turned on him because they're like, that's really super weird, rather than asking the fact that what led him to think this way. So that's just one example to say that this stuff can last a long while, and it is bigger than just you thinking yourself out of it. You need spiritual help, because it actually, in a strange way, it's actually kind of a spiritual wound, because it knocks out your logic. You don't even think clearly. Like, again, look at Todoroki. He literally had the fire. His fire ability would have helped him rock the fight instantly, but because of how he felt about his dad, he was willing to lose just to prove a point to someone whose opinion should not have meant everything to him, as in his dad, Endeavor. Does that make sense? Like, it's just a dumb move, but he thought it was the best decision because of his anger, and he's like, I'm justified in this. So my thing is just that, hey, you can do whatever you want to do, obviously. I don't tell you what to do. I don't live your life. I just hope that if you're listening to this, you choose to take a step forward and help yourself by asking Jesus to help you with what's happening, as in those daddy issues. Literally just asking him and saying, Jesus, help me with what's going on, because I cannot do this on my own. And you'll see how Jesus will even help you in kind of the same way Deku helped Todoroki. Because if you look at Deku, it doesn't make sense. I'll say this to go back again, that what Jesus does in your life, sometimes it doesn't make sense, or it defies what's normal, because Deku didn't know Todoroki like that. Like, they're not buds, you know? So why the heck is Deku putting himself, the pain, the immense pain, because remember those flicks with One for All? Like, Deku was breaking fingers and hands to save some random kid who he really doesn't know like that. Why would he do that? You know what I mean? But honestly, that's kind of Jesus, where Jesus will put himself in a spot to save you, not because you understand why, but because you need the help. Think of it. Deku showed up there. Deku kept on fighting, as in ice attack after ice attack. He fought back and pushed Todoroki right to the brink, where, if you remember the episode, for those of you who watched it, Todoroki started freezing up, as in, like, he had maxed out all his energy, and his ice abilities, which were helping him before, now started to actually cripple his movement. This was a situation he could have solved if he just turned on his fire abilities, but he said, I won't do it because I don't like my dad, because of all the pain, all the hurts, so I would rather lose this fight. He was kind of almost saying that I'd rather lose this fight than to accept who I am, accept that I'm wounded, but not that I will stay wounded, accept that this power and all the stuff that he's gotten from his dad, as in the positive things, are a part of him, and he can use them in a different way. You see Deku, like, again, listen to, this is how I say Jesus can reach anyone's heart, if their heart is open to listen. Listen to the stuff Deku says to him, that, you know, you think you're the only one who's been wounded, Why are you running away from this issue? And even the biggest one, that Deku says, you don't have to be a prisoner of your blood. That the power, that fire power he inherited from Endeavor, it's your power too. So why are you denying who you truly are? And then Todoroki is just like, what the heck is going on? It's almost like that freeze where Deku said something that pierced right through his soul and he couldn't just brush it aside. You could tell even in the whole thing he's irritated by why Deku won't let it go. But Deku didn't want to let it go because he realized how bad this issue was for Todoroki. And that Todoroki, even with the ice and fire he had, was drowning. He couldn't save himself. He needed someone on the outside to help him. Just like Deku was that person for Todoroki, Jesus can be that person for you. Because again, your problems are real and they definitely will crush you if you stay on your own and try to do everything on your own. Asking Jesus for the help is not just like a religious thing. Again, it's actually to help you to truly grow and begin the level of healing. Because the healing is not from the outside in, it's inside out. Heal your spirit first so that you can start to now heal everything else connected to it. The thing I really want to again reinforce is that part where asking Jesus for the help is so important, because we all need help at some point. Pain isn't something that we're all familiar with, as in there's different dimensions and levels to pain, but sometimes we don't know how much it impacts us because we're going through the experience. And asking for the help is actually to say, I need someone to help pull me out of it so that I can be free, so I can be healthy, I can actually live my dream. Again, look at Todoroki's thing one more time. He would have killed his dream of being a hero by handicapping himself with using half the power he could just because he wanted to spite his father. Like, does that make logical sense? But to him it did, because the pain was running his mind. As in, the pain and the trauma and the wounds of his daddy issues was running how he thought. And if he had kept going, he never would have reached his dream of being a hero. He might lose how many fights here and there, or the pain would have really messed with his judgment and he would have made a huge mistake that could have cost lives. So my thing to you is, whether it's on your job or in your relationships or whatever, I don't want you to go make a mistake that could really impact or hurt someone because you just didn't heal. You don't need to do that. That is really not necessary. Healing will actually help you and help everybody. And one of those steps for sure is asking Jesus for the help, because issues like this, they have a lot of weight. And pretending that you're okay is a problem. Pretending you're okay is the issue. You can say you're not okay, which is good and healthy, but taking a step towards the healing is so important, just because you deserve it, and also you're worthy of actually being healed. Think of all the stuff you'll gain and unlock and understand because of what you've been through. That's the biggest thing I really wanted to put forward with this episode here, is don't go it alone. Ask Jesus for the help. Problems that you're going through are not just logical alone. It's bigger than that, but not bigger than Jesus. So asking him for the help is to start you on the journey of healing. Yeah, I'm not gonna mince words and say you'll be healed instantly. Healing is a journey, it's a process, but you will start to go through it so that you come out better. You can think clearly, you're really flowing in your purpose, and I think you deserve that. I really do, because everybody deserves that. That's actually who we're supposed to be. I really hope you have the courage to do that, just asking Jesus for the help and really saying that, Jesus, I need you to help me with this thing because it's crushing me. And then watch what he's going to do in your life, honestly. That's what happened with me. I went through that and I saw how much it changed me when I actually bought into the fact that this is bigger than me. It's way bigger than me. And this is me as a Christian boy, you know, thinking I'm okay because I do good things. And I'm like, nah, like it just hit me with that whole thing. Like, it's bigger than me. So I have to go to Jesus for the help and say, I cannot do this on my own. And then you see the change in how you continue to evolve once you're on that journey towards healing. Again, anime is great. Anime is awesome. The reason I bring this up is that the lessons there are there, that some of them are just ones that Jesus has placed to help you in what you're going through. Don't just leave it at anime. Don't just leave it at like, oh, it's a great story, a great lesson. Like, use it, apply it directly to your life. Or a friend's, if you see a friend is struggling with it, share the episode with them, chat with them about it. Take charge of your healing. Don't leave it to someone else. You get involved. It impacts you the most. I think everyone should just jump on that because it'll help. Either use it for yourself or share it with someone else and start the conversation. Talking about daddy issues shouldn't be some secret or something weird. It should be normalized so that we can all heal as a community in our different areas around the world. So if you are listening to this, thank you so much. I do appreciate the listen. Please, you can follow us on all the socials, X, formerly known as Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Pinterest. Looking forward to more conversations like this. I hope you continue to enjoy those great anime episodes out there, and keep growing. So we'll chat next time. Until then, spread the word, tell a friend, and see you on the next podcast episode. Peace.